Kenny Carter, known as KC, he's been the focus for many years on the Speedway world. He's drawn a lot of attention, and there's a lot of fans who like this guy. And today we're going to hear about some of those fans and their memories of Kenny Carter.
I saw Kenny ride at the Shea, and it was in the early 80s. He was my very first Speedway idol, and I cherish all my memories of those great days. Great rider and fearless. First, I saw him ride at Cleveland Park in 1982 in the National League versus the Young England Challenge match race, and took a full 2 seconds off the track record. Shame what happened at the end, but a great rider. A brilliant rider, so full of determination and self-belief, but unfortunately, when you read the accounts from all the other riders, he was a bit unhinged. I really enjoyed watching him ride though. Used to speak to him a few times every time he rode at Cradley. I took many photos and I liked him, and he was always pleasant. I loved his passion, but his dad was a bit of a arse. I first saw him race in the Golden Helmet match race against the late Gordon Kennett at Reading in 1981. We went to a charity to do a clearance at Newsom. Kenny was a guest of honor. He played my wife at pool using his crutches as a cue stick, and he won. Always remember him winning at the British final at Coventry on a wet track with a broken leg against a team riding opponents. He's my favorite English rider. One of the best riders I ever saw. I loved his TV interviews. He always told it like it was, and he didn't pull any punches. I rode one night and it was pissing down rain. One of the best Speedway riders of all time, that's for sure. I went to watch him every Saturday at the Shea for years. My favorite rider would have been a world champion if he hadn't been for Bruce Penhall putting him into the fence. Saw him in 1984 at the British semi-final at Oxford, and then in the final at Coventry with a broken leg in the rain. A great rider and a real racer. A superb talent, memories of him at the Shea and Otisel, as well as many others. Really good mate and born out and racer. Had some good times. Absolutely a legend on the track. I was in the Kenny Carter fan club. Well aged. Should have been a world champion. Talent wasted. Could have earned the winged wheel of the world championship. Even though I am a Bellevue supporter, I love seeing Kenny at the Hyde Road. Brilliant racer, left us too soon. I saw him second having at the Shea, and I think he was only like 16 years old. He was really pushing his bike, and his valves were bouncing, going up and down straight, and you could really see that he's destined for stardom. Good rider, enjoyed watching his epic races at the Shea with Peter Collins. Yeah, saw him whenever he was down at Cradley. Such a sad loss. A hero of mine, he had raw talent, and he had that desire to win. I saw him many times at Bellevue and Halifax. A great rider. Ivan Major clearly thought he was worth mentoring. Yes, at Oxford in the British final. Oh, the semi-final, he rode with a broken leg. He had a camp bed in the pits because he couldn't stand. He had to be carried to his bike. Amazing skills on a bike. I met him with Gordon May's Comet Workshop when I was getting my bike straightened out. He was quite an unassuming guy, not a brash as you might see him on TV. I remember the TV interview he did. He took a piss at the reporter, laughing my ass off. Good times, Kenny Carter. Gifted, talented, and seemed fearless with a burning desire to win. Likewise, he and his road race brother Alan, a true Yorkshire grit, a great Speedway talent and winner. A great rider, he seemed a bit fearless. Halifax Dukes fans so loved him dearly. He had a great riding style. Olsen versus Carter at the Shea. Battles were sensational. That British title win at Brandon on one leg. What a warrior. As a Coventry fan, 100% respect for him as a rider. P.S. Halifax was always my favorite away track. The pubs, the people, the fans. I even won a meat raffle in the club behind the main stands on one Saturday night. And hopefully the fan I gave the food to had a lovely Sunday dinner. Channel 4 did a documentary on Coventry fans traveling to Halifax. Remember them filming them on the couch? He swept to a magnificent 18-point maximum. I had rarely seen him such a dominant display. I stood at the exit at the second behind the bend, and watching him for a full flight in the majestic control, what an angle of memory I will have of him will stay with me forever. He was a truly gifted individual who truly could have been one of the greats. A wonderful rider. I saw him riding for England with that broken leg. A great racer, very skilled and totally fearless. He was the best. My schoolboy hero, brilliant with the fans. He took me in the pits to help. He took me on the center of the green with Kelly Moran and watched from the infield. He gave me some old guards and some parts from his Speedway bike. He was the salt of the earth guy who always gave a special place. Salt of the earth guy who always hold a special place in my heart. He was an amazing rider with such talent. Changed his tire selection, should have stuck with Ivan's suggestion. I saw him at Milton Keyes. He went through the card unbeaten. Also rode for Credley when Bruce Penhall was injured. A great rider. He hauled ass. He was good to watch. Kenny was brilliant rider, world class. Was brave as a lion.
You can say that again.
I am a Sheffield supporter, so I didn't see him regularly as you did. But from what I had read along the way, it was certainly seemed like his dad didn't do him any favors on a lot of occasions. On that night, his dad made him change the British tires when he was faster than anyone on the American tires. They were all we run on British. Ivan started to decline working with Kenny, therefore due to outside influences. Saw him on his first practice session as he brought his bikes. They were immaculate. His leathers were immaculate. He was a class at first sight. He would always marmalade rider if you loved him or loathed him. Great talent. Saw him ride at Leicester. A great chat with him. Saw him many times at home, at the Shea, and at away matches, either with my dad in the car or on the Halifax away supporter bus. Would have been a world champ when Ivan had set him up.